Two, one. Welcome to Beyond Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Petralis, and we are super excited today. You see that we have two student athletes here, and the reason we have them here is a pretty fun reason, something that doesn't happen often, and we were lucky enough to be able to kind of sort of catch it, but other people made us aware of it as the night kind of ended, so we were lucky to have them on. So without further ado, from Malden High School here, we have Tina and Nate. Tina is a cheerleader from Malden High School. Nate is a football player from Malden High School. And something cool happened, but we won't jump into that. We'll leave some people in suspense for a little bit. So I just wanted to throw this at you guys. First, Nate, and then to Tina. Talk about the experience of being at Fenway Park. I know, Nate, for you, you got last minute injury. You're a young sophomore. You get some decent time. You're an uprising football player for sure. But talk about that experience for you, not being able to play, but just being there and enjoying the night.
Well, not being able to play was kind of disappointing, at Fenway Park, not being able to play with my friends, people closest to me. Overall, it was a good experience, to be there and to be able to be in that atmosphere, in that area.
And I felt like you soaked it in pretty well. I mean, before obviously this, I remember you were out there for the coin toss video taping stuff. You were out there in the warm up. So a bummer not to play, but you definitely were like mentally and physically involved with it as much as you possibly could be anyways, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously for you, Tina, I mean, coming in as a cheerleader, I mean, you guys, obviously you are there for the football team, rain, sun, shine, whatever it is, you guys are there rooting them on. So being able to also experience this at Fenway Park, a historical place that, some of the greatest baseball players of all time have ever come through. And over the last few years, football and cheering there. I mean, talk about that experience for you.
I feel like for me and also my team, we were very hype about it because, well, this is my first year cheering. So just being there, and yeah, it was just very fun.
Yeah.
And exciting.
And for you, I'm sure there's a million things, like the cheerleaders do a zillion things behind the scenes for the football players that they probably never even notice, but you guys are detailed and great at. And so I'm sure it was a fun experience cheering on that field. You guys were pretty loud, you interacting with the crowd a little bit. So it was fun. It was totally fine. I think you guys got up on the big screen at one point, cheering towards the end of the game. Yeah. So it's a cool experience for you. So I have you guys on here because what was really cool was after the game, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, fact check me at any point. Tina's a senior. She proposed to Nate after the game. So that was cool. And I saw the video of it, and the team went nuts, and they had just won, and the team just came together. I mean, very well timed by you. But Tina, I want to ask you, when did this come about? When did this maybe become a reality of something you were looking to do? And just the planning behind it, because you had signs, the cheer team seemed to be very involved. So this wasn't something you slapped together in a night. This was something you definitely thought of. So I want to give you the floor a little bit. I thought it was cool.
Okay, so I was on TikTok and I saw this girl did a proposal to her boyfriend, and it was she wasn't a cheerleader, but her boyfriend was a football player, and she did it at a football game. And that's when I started to get the inspiration and stuff, and I wanted to do it. And I didn't know if it was too early because obviously prom is next year in May, so I didn't know if it would have been a good time. But so I talked to his friend James, and I was trying to get advice and stuff, and trying to
So when was this? Tell me, set this up. How many weeks ago, days ago?
A couple of weeks before the Fenway game.
Okay.
So it was planned, pre-planned. So I was asking James if I should do it at the Fenway game, and I even talked to Nate's mom, and they were yeah, you should do it and stuff. So then I just decided to, and I tried so hard to hide it from Nate. It was really hard because he's so nosy, and he's always he's so nosy. But anyway, so then I just talked to James and stuff, and I told him how should I do it and stuff. And then at the game, James he was too hyped to come over and do the whole thing. So
yeah,
then
I got your back, I'll help you, and then see ya. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I had like I had to like quickly like tell like the cheerleaders and stuff like, oh, like hold a sign, hold a sign, hold a sign. And they were all like so hyped since they just won. So like obviously, so they wouldn't like pay attention. So we had to run around, like chase them. And then like we just found a good time and they just put up the signs and stuff. And then I just came out and then that happened.
All right, so let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this question in two parts here. Part one, was it all go even if they lost that game, you were still doing that? And two, I'll ask you is just the timing. Like, was that the plan at the end of the game on the field? Like, how did that all kind of play out day of?
The timing was kind of stressful because we didn't know like if we would have had to leave the field like right away. Like there was like a lot like about the timing and stuff, but Nate's coach Witchy, he said that after would have been good because they were confident that they were gonna win. I was confident that they were gonna win. So it would just like after was just a good time for that to happen.
Yeah, so for those that are tuning in, we'll put the video in so you can see this while this podcast is going on. But just walking you through it, the team kind of does their nail down at the end. They're waiting for their head coach to come over or their coaches to speak to them. The cheerleaders came over, and then all of a sudden the noise starts getting louder. So Nate, I'm going to jump to you here because I'm just going to tell you what I observed from the video, and you can tell me if I'm wrong in any way. But at first, I don't think you saw or really understood what was going on. You have those signs, those that are watching this visually in the back, the number 7 sign, but also the actual sign that Tina held. I can see it hanging in your room back there. So for you, it looked like you didn't see it at first, or you didn't like fully read it maybe the first time through, and then it kind of clicked. And then everyone was just kind of jumping on you. So it looked like you got up and walked over and said yes. So walk us through that big victory. You were part of that. You videotaped a zillion things. And then after the game, you're sitting there maybe bummed out that you weren't a part of that game in a different way. But then all of a sudden, boom, this kind of drops on your lap.
So after when we won, like when I seen the score and when I seen the clock like going down and like when I knew that, oh, this is our game, we won, I started getting hyped and I picked up the trophy and I started walking on the field at the end, and just a lot of things were going on. So like I was celebrating with my friends, taking pictures, and then we got in as a group to take a group picture. And like even though I didn't get to play, I still like was excited, not just for me, but excited for my friends because my friends balled out too. They had a great game. So I was happy for them to be able to have the opportunity to play in Fenway, even though I wasn't able to play. But when it happened, we were taking a group picture, like the team picture, and like I started seeing the cheerleaders line up and then just start like lifting up signs. And I think it said like, hey, it said, hey, 7. But at first, before they lifted the number 7 up, I thought it was going to say like, hey, like something for the team. I didn't know it was like for me.
Yeah.
So after the 7 up, I was like, oh, okay, that's like I thought it was cool. And then I didn't know that she was going to walk out with a sign that said, will you go to prom with me? That's when all the excitement, all the energy, like just started like going up. And that's when the whole team just started getting hyped and like they started pushing me up and stuff, like lifting me up.
Yeah.
At first, I couldn't really see the sign, and because like my vision is not really that good, so like I couldn't really see the sign what it said. So I started like squinting to see what it said closer, and then everyone just started screaming. And then I just got up and then walked up to Tina and gave her like a big hug and stuff. Started squeezing her, and I was like saying yes, yes, yes.
That is cool. That is like, I thought it was cool. Like, I think doing that in general, I find that over the last like 4 to 5 years in high school, maybe even longer, maybe I'm just too old too, but it just seems like it's kind of like taken off and it's taken a life of its own and it's getting more creative and more, it's kind of like it's turned into like who's got the coolest one, trendiest one, and it's fun to watch. So to be able to see that happen at Fenway Park, obviously after a victory for you guys. Now, were you guys dating before that, or was this kind of a complete surprise?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're dating.
Okay. I was making sure. It would have been even a crazier story if it was a complete surprise. So obviously you soaked that in. That was a cool, amazing feeling. Fenway Park, big victory, even funner bus ride home, I'm sure, for the both of you guys. So I really wanted to tell the story. We cover high school sports, and I feel like high school sports just has a bunch of spider webs off of it that, you guys are so much more involved and so much more creative and so much more, advanced in just what you play as a sport or what you do for cheer. And it's great to see that high school athletes outside of the realm of what we cover them on being able to do fun things and creative things and truly really nice things. I mean, what you did, Tina, is a memory that he's going to have forever and a memory that you're going to have forever. Even when you're 20 years from now, you have an incredible story, both years, to be able to tell. And I'm sure every time you go to Fenway Park from here on out, that story's going to come up. You're going to eventually become like those old people that just like tell the same story over and over again, and they like forget that they've told it so many times. But no, I thought it was something fun to get you on here and to really talk about it and so on and so forth. What's like I'll just ask you guys this just to be more funny than anything. What is like a song that you guys are going to have to dance to at prom, right? Like, obviously there's a million different songs, but like, is there a song right now for both of you? Like, when this song is on, we're on the dance floor. Is there a song out there right now like that?
I don't know, to be really sure.
Okay. I know, like in sports, everybody has their songs, their jams. I was just wondering, but so obviously, you guys from now until then, okay, you have a winter season and spring season coming up, another 2/3 of a school year. So, what are you guys up to after the season's over? Obviously, Thanksgiving happened. You go back into school Monday. Football's officially over. Winter sports are beginning. Are you guys involved in other extracurricular activities or things in the school for the rest of the school year?
I'm doing cheer for basketball.
Okay.
Yeah,
We covered basketball last year.
Playing basketball this year.
All right, so you guys are still linked together. Like, you're still cheering, he's playing. Okay, that's cool. That's great. And now, is there anything in school or anything like that outside of sports that you're involved with in school at all? Any clubs or any after school things like that? Obviously, you got your winter seasons coming up, but I didn't know if you guys were involved as student athletes, anything else in the school at all.
No.
No, there's not anything.
Cool. All right. Well, listen, it was a pleasure having you guys on here. As I said, this is an episode that's outside the realm of what we do. And I thought it was a really cool story. So, we cover Malden High School a lot. We've covered basketball, both boys and girls last year. We covered football last year and this year. We covered gymnastics. We covered volleyball. So we cover a lot of sports there. You guys AD, and obviously I think your football coach has improved this program so much. I'm just so interested to see you guys next year, a fairly young team coming back. And I'm excited to see, what year 3 in his tenure brings, but another year of this team, maturing and getting experience and getting a lot better. And, Tina, for you, obviously, continued great school year for you as well, where we pumped Peyton, who's a senior there, Peyton Lightbody, who was running for class president. We try to promote it on the podcast for her. So, anything we ever can do for you guys as student athletes, just let us know and we'll help out to the best of our ability. But congratulations on just a really cool night for both of you in general.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. So from Beyond Podcast, I'm your host, Anthony Petralis. Till next time.